Welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out two incredible rock machines. Yes, welcome back to the channel, you guys. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. In the studio, we've got two of the coolest new guitars. We're going to do a little back-to-back shootout because both of these are from Schecter. We've got the brand new 2020 Ultra in this killer blue-gray sparkle finish. Just looks fantastic. And the E-1 Custom quilt top sunburst finish just looks incredible. So we're going to check out these two guitars in great detail. Let's get going. All right, so I'll give you guys a quick 1-minute overview of each guitar because before we compare them, well, we need to know what they are, what kind of pickups they have, hardware, etc. So let's start with the Ultra here. Very cool headstock. It's kind of a two-tier carve with that lower carve being blue and the upper carve being black, matching Grover tuning machines. Looks awesome blacked out. These are non-lockers, so just regular Grovers. And we've got kind of an oversized truss rod cover. I think the whole headstock just looks really, really cool. Now we've got a Graph Tech nut found on most Schecters, which is always welcome. We've got extra jumbo frets, 14-inch radius, and ebony fingerboard. Just jet black. Looks fantastic with these kind of offset inlays. Very, very cool. On the backside, nice generous volute. Again, always appreciated. We've got a mahogany neck here with two carbon reinforcement rods. So also a great feature. And look at that finish. Look at that neck joint there. Man, it's fantastic. So body is mahogany as well. And we've got two Schecter USA pickups. We've got a Sunset and a Pasadena. So great pickups, two volumes, one tone. Whole guitar can be split into single coil mode. So we've got 6 different tones. Again, on a guitar like this, you might not expect that feature, but always welcome. We've got our 3-way switch up here. And again, we've kind of got that little 2-way carve with a lower and upper ridge. Very, very cool. Fantastic finish. Just a beautiful, beautiful guitar. Let's check out the E-1. All right, so now let's check out the E-1 Custom. Absolutely beautiful beast of a guitar. Check this thing out. Absolutely wonderful. So let's talk about some of the differences between the Ultra and the E-1. Now, starting on the headstock, the E-1 here gets Schecter locking tuners, an upgrade over the Ultra. So that's a really nice feature. Both of them feature Graph Tech nuts. Perfect. Now on the E-1 here, we also have an ebony fingerboard, but we get these beautiful iridescent block inlays. So I don't know if it'll show up on camera. Maybe I'll take a few shots for you guys, but just wonderful. Some of the nicest blocks I've seen on a guitar. Just great. Now on the backside, we also have ebony neck, but no carbon reinforcement rods. So that Ultra had the carbon reinforcement. Here, just a regular mahogany neck. Now, fingerboard, 14 on the Ultra. Here we have a 12-16 compound. So it's just kind of a little bit of a give and take depending on what features you want. Now, once we get here, it's very similar. We've got the Sunset strip and the Pasadena, just like the Ultra. Same hardware here with the locking Allen key on the stop tail piece and the bridge. Yeah, just one volume, one tone, but check it out. Splittable. Love that about Schecter. On a guitar like this, you might not expect to, get single coil type tones, but with Schecter, you do. 3-way switch here, binding over the entire thing. Just looks wonderful. I'll take some shots for you guys where the binding meets so you can see, but just precise and really well made. And of course, you get the quilt top. So, you get some cosmetic upgrades on this guitar for sure with the sunburst finish, quilt top, binding, block inlays, compound radius, and on the Ultra you get things like the carbon reinforcement rods and a few things like that. So it just depends on the features you want. That's a quick overview. Let's hear these guitars in action. All right, you guys, with guitars like this in hand, we gotta start with some crunch tones. I'm gonna plug into my Boogie. We're gonna start with some low gain and then some higher gain crunch, some more modern kind of metal type tones. And of course, we will do some clean tones, including checking out the coil splits, because we wanna know, is this a worthwhile tone to have on a guitar like this? Anyway, we'll check it out. Let's start with some classic rock crunch. All right, you guys, now let's check out some split coil tones, see if it's worth it to have it on this guitar or not. Now, we've got the tone pot pulled out. That means the guitar is in its single coil mode, and I'm in the neck pickup. Now, compared to, the full humbucker, that neck humbucker is just super warm. Add a little gain to it. This is mostly clean, just a little broken up, but if you had a little gain on it, it's just very creamy. Wonderful tone, but it just doesn't get you full humbucker. It starts to break up immediately, and it's just so full. So if you do need any sort of bright, chimey, anything with some pop or sizzle, let's try both together. This is just the neck. This is both and bridge. So definitely gives you a bunch more to work with. Now, would you play blues or SRV or something like that on a guitar like this? Well, it's up to you, but I like that Schecter offers that, as an option. All right, now let's try that with the Ultra. This is the split neck. Full humbucker. Split. So pretty big difference. This is the humbucker. You can hear that break up there. So a pretty big difference between the splits, obviously, and the really, really warm humbuckers. I feel like overall the Ultra is slightly warmer than the E-1, The E-1 has a lot of clarity and a lot of bite. Obviously, they have different electronics. There's 3 pots here instead of 2 on the Ultra. Selectors up here instead of down there. So there's a few, differences, and of course, the body shape and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, in terms of tone, I feel like the Ultra is slightly warmer and the E-1 has a little bit more cut. But other than that, they're so much fun to play. All right, you guys, now that we've heard these guitars played back to back, it's time to put them in a mix with other instruments. So I'm going to play over a backing track. A link to the track is in the video description as always. It's time for the 1-minute solo. So here are my final thoughts on these 2 guitars. Well, first things first, so much fun to crank out some old school riffs on this, crank up the amp, and just have some fun. And these guitars certainly deliver from that aspect. And construction-wise, super impressed again with these Schecters. I hope they never stop making them in South Korea. I know South Korea right now is a little bit like Japan used to be, super high quality instruments. But makers are actually leaving South Korea just like they left Japan because, it's expensive to make guitars there. But I mean, these things are so good, and I always recommend people, if you have, $500 to $1,200 to spend on an instrument, try out a Schecter. The quality is just great. So I hope you guys keep making them in South Korea because very impressed again with these instruments. Now, in terms of the tones, I felt like the E-1 was a little bit more bitey and the Ultra was a little warm. So, if you need that extra clarity for like high gain metal or something, this would be a great way to go. And this one, a great, all-rounder, great for blues, classic rock, that kind of stuff. So I'll link to these guitars down below if you guys want all the information and detailed specs on these guitars. Other than that, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys enjoy videos like this. Have yourself a great day.